Here we are, sunny Tuesday morning. Got the 38-meter pump plugging into, and it pains me to say it almost, but not really, 225 feet of hose all the way down the building, around the corner. Got some sidewalks to do. We are going to start off with the footing for these planter walls. Reason being is when we get into the line work, we need a real wet slump. We're going for like a 6 to 7 inch slump. So we're gonna have to pour that footing in, let it set up for a couple hours, and then when we come back and we finish the sidewalks, we'll fill the wall, and the footing should be nice and rock hard by that time. So what we're gonna do, just gonna do a regular water prime into the hopper for the boom. And then we'll swing over, pour the footing, and we'll break off this whip hose and we'll connect up to the line. So what we've done here is we have a short double-ended 3-inch hose with the air cuff on it. And then we have a 10-foot whip hose hanging off of that, connected by a safety strap, always connected by a safety sling. So you've got a couple hoses like that. The reason we're doing this is so that we are not pouring the walls out of a double-ended hose. So we got a nice, soft, safe, rubber-ended hose on there. So the reason for the strap between the two hoses is if you ever were to have a failure at the coupling or the crimped on end, the rubber hoses are connected together. So with this 3-inch hose, we got about it gives us about 15 feet of hose on there. It is well within the 365-pound weight limit for the tip section of this boom. So somebody's yelling concrete. Concrete's here. So what we're going to do here, once they pour the wall, we'll come down, connect up to our hose here. They're going to throw a nice big old bucket of bentonite into this 3-inch hose. And then we'll prime it out the rest of the way, making certain not to get any of the bentonite into the pour area. That contaminated concrete will never set up, so whenever using bentonite, make sure that you dispose of it outside of the finished concrete area. What I actually might do here, I don't know that 1 bucket is sufficient. I might make a little more bentonite, and we'll go with 2 buckets for this run, I think. Just to be absolutely safe. Can never have too much bentonite. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna go down around the corner. That goes, I don't know, 75 feet around the corner there. So anyhow, we'll get rocking here and catch up in a bit. Prime time. Gonna show us how it's done. A couple squirts up into the cylinders while stroking in forward. Excellent. Now we'll prime it through at the magic pace of a stroke every 3 to 5 seconds. We'll cycle this through the hopper real good, get it nicely mixed up, that first bit of concrete. Let's see what we got for concrete. It's supposed to be a nice wet slump, small rock. Oh yeah, look at that. The good stuff. That is a nice mix, nice and creamy. And we'll put this through now. Now I have a fancy trick that I like to do where I drape the hose on the mixer chute so that it doesn't splash nearly as much. Maybe I'll just intervene here and do that. They said once it's about through, you want to drape the hose on the chute so it doesn't splash. I think it's a good idea. We'll put it right on the chute. Yeah. pull her back a little bit. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Here she comes. It around like this just for a little bit, just to blend up that first meter of concrete. Because we're doing the footing first, we actually could have just primed out straight into it, not a big deal. If we were hooking up directly to the line, it would be extremely critical that we do this step here. But right now this is kind of just a formality more than anything. So swing over now, we'll pour some footings, and then we'll get on to the dirty work. It's $100 bucks?
$100.
Oh man.
You're just gonna lose.
Big promises.
Hold on.
Where's your other bucket? Where's your little bucket of snot? Oh, you still got your little. That's the contingency plan right there. So after my whole spiel about pouring the footing first, they've decided not to. So that's the way it goes. So you want your bentonite to look like that.
Oh, you want to put that one too?
I would, but the young kid wants to save it.
You want to save that for to go?
If you're gonna put your money where your mouth is, I would throw that in there right now too. Yeah, I think so. You gonna do it?
We'll put this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Final answer? It's not too late to change your mind.
Final answer. The second truck has a 0.5% return.
Yes, I heard that. Yesterday when I checked the order,
This is gonna hit the sun.
they originally had a 0.5% accelerator in it.
Oh.
yeah, they did. Yeah.
For sidewalk, we don't want any.
No, I know. Yeah, luckily it's in the shade for about another hour, and then this is just gonna bake out here. So we'll buck that whip hose off here and connect up our little shorty. And Jag, I would definitely put that other bucket of stuff in, I think. That first bucket was very small.
Right here?
Yeah, I would do it. Let's do it for the video. And if it plugs up, I will take responsibility, and it's going to be on YouTube.
$100.
For the millions of followers around the world to see. That is the insurance policy right there. Yeah.
I was going to plug it.
I don't think so. I feel pretty good about this. The mix looks good. Everything looks good. We'll connect up here and we'll give this a go. We're gonna prime this through real slow, like a stroke, like every 5 to 7 seconds kind of thing. This is a 3-man job right here. Did you miss the sarcasm? If you did, it's not a 3-man job. What he's doing right there is not normally really necessary, but the strap's there, so why not use it, right? Only normally use the safety slings when we're hanging stuff in the air, but it doesn't hurt, so. You know, what he's doing right now is he's running the bentonite through the hose ahead. I myself personally don't do it that way. I like the concrete to push up against the massive bentonite, pushing it all through together, coating the entire diameter of the hose. The way he did it there is actually not bad. Shake it through the reducer. He got it a couple hoses up. Didn't shake it all the way out the end, so whatever. Maybe I'll learn something here. We just gotta wait for our pump operator to get back, and we will get cracking. What's he doing back there? Hey Jag, can you tell him to turn the air cuff off now too? Like disable it from the remote. Oh, here. Oh, he's right here. Did you disable it from the remote too?
Wait, what?
The air cuff. Disable it from the remote so that when we stop, it's not squeezing it. Oh yeah, okay. Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. Good. 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 So the reason why we do that is when we stop the pump, we don't want the air cuff squeezing on the hose, and it does create a little bit of a dry pack every time it does that. If you're pumping straight vertical out of a tip hose, not a big deal, but through a long run of line like this, every time you stop the pump, make that little dry pack. Now you got to push that little dry pack all the way through the line, which is obviously less than ideal and can lead to plugging. So we deactivate the air cuff once we're all hooked up here. And he can do that right from his remote control, so it's not a huge inconvenience at all.
Happy with that?
Oh, this sounds crunchy already. They said slower, slower. Yeah, this sounds nasty already. When it hasn't made it 20 feet, it already sounds coarse. It's not a good sign. Maybe when it mixes up with that bentonite, it'll rejuvenate itself, though. That's what we hope. Let's see what comes out the end of the hose here. There it is. Put a bit more outside. Yeah. Yeah, that stuff's still junk. That stuff's still junk.
Make a documentary about it.
I am. So you have to do it right. We don't want to be on camera doing it wrong. What's going on, buddy?
No.
Yeah, that's good.
There we go. Good concrete.
Long time no see.
I haven't seen you for a decade.
I know. How's that good, Rick? That's a good one.
You see this shit here, it'll sit, it'll stay like mud forever. That's why you don't want it in the sidewalk. You'll never be able to finish it. Yeah, you like that? It's gonna be the best video because you're in it. Good thing you got a haircut.
Very good, very good. La cámara tiene abajo. It looks like a...
So we prime all the way through, and then we get a plug here at the taper. So let's see what kind of debris we got. There's a dry slug. Oh, here it is right here. This shit's hot, eh? Oh my God, you feel how warm that is? It's like fucking 30 degrees. Wow, okay. Well, this stuff is gonna set up super, super fast. When you can feel how fucking warm it is with your hand, yeah, that's like 30-degree concrete. Yeah, so we're gonna have to be really on top of things today here. So what we'll do is, when this guy gets down to about 2 cubic meters left, we are not gonna run him out. We are just gonna pump a half a meter every 10 minutes to keep this moving through the system until our next truck shows up. The last thing we wanna do is pump him out, not have any concrete here, and have this whole boom and system filled up, and then we have to drain all our hoses by hand while we wait for the next truck to get here. So, because yeah, this stuff feels like it could set up like real quick. So anyhow, that stuff we put on the ground about 10 minutes ago. You know what? Despite how hot it is temperature-wise, it's actually holding on pretty good still. So it's interesting to see what transpires with this blob of mud here in the next 15-20 minutes. Alright, we're down to only like 3 more hoses now. This is going pretty quick, so this is my cardio right here for the day. I love concrete pumping. I love concrete pumping. I love concrete pumping. Makes the day go by much quicker. If you say it, it makes it true, right? Yeah. Wash those up in a minute. How much you got left in there? Okay. The next guy's not here yet, is he? Maybe. Yeah, I'll get our guys to hold up, and we'll probably pour like a half a meter every 5 or 10 minutes until he gets here. Yeah, I'll let him know right now. So that's what we're gonna do. We will hold off and just nurse this truck until the next one gets here. In the meantime, I'm gonna wash some hoses here. I got a special way I like to do this. Adjust my camera. Can I borrow your hose?
It says about 15 minutes till the next truck's here.
Yeah, we'll just nurse you along then for a bit.
Those how fucking accurate they actually are.
Yeah. Morning rush hour now too, right? So the way I like to wash the hose is give the end a little rinse, like so. Put about a gallon of water in the end, inside the hose. Like so. And then I just do a really quick roll with it. Like so. And I'll take this end here. And I'll repeat the exact same process. Rinse the coupling off. I hate it when it gets left dirty in the flange here, and it makes it an absolute bear to get the clamps on. We'll rinse on the outside. About a liter of water inside, like so. And then we'll give it a quick roll. Boom. Clean. So I find that's the most efficient, effective way to wash the hose. Those guys will sit there with it on their knee, put the nozzle in, spraying water, just twisting it, waiting for the water to come clean out the other end. You end up using like 5 times as much water, and it takes it 3 times as long to wash the hose. So that's the way I do it. Little blast of water, roll it through, spin it around, little blast of water, roll it through, and she's good to go. So I also find that rolling action mitigates chances of any concrete being left in the hose. And this here was like a really creamy mix today, really sticky mix. So if it works with this stuff, you can imagine on a regular mix it isn't quite as fatty. That works even that much better. So anyhow, that's my pro tip of the day. That's it right there, the pro tip. All right, so we're just waiting on our next load of concrete here. Let's check in on our little test pile of concrete, see how it's doing. It's been on the ground now for about 45 minutes, and it's still actually really soft. That is so weird. And it's cooled right off, because when it came out of the hose initially, it was like 30 degrees. See how it is at the hose here? Yep, now the concrete's actually cool and not setting at all. This is a concrete phenomenon, the likes of which I've never actually seen before. It's a a welcome phenomenon. But yeah, totally weird. Usually when it's coming out of the hose hot like that, it means it's already hydrating and it's gonna set really quick. But apparently not today. Yeah, smile. Easy money. So you know what's weird? Remember how hot it was coming out of the hose?
Yeah.
Now it's actually like very cool to the touch and it's not really setting at all. It's fucking weirdest shit ever. Alright, so we are back into the boom work here. So what we're going to do is we're going to undo this double-ended hose, which was formerly laid out when we poured the sidewalk. And then we're going to put on our whip hose connected up to our little 6-foot stubby double-ended 3. And then we will continue on pouring out using that as the whip. So once again, we'll use the safety sling between the two hoses and a safety pin in the clamp. Maybe I'll get in here and help out a bit. Camera and teeth time. I always put the safety sling on the rubber, not on the collar, because I have seen hoses, brand new ones in fact, where the rubber has blown right out of the pressed on metal coupling. So I always sling onto the rubber, like so. So with the air cuff on here, one of the tricks to this is, say you get a plug in your 3-inch taper and you want to bang it out, but you want to relieve the pressure on the air cuff. The air cuff on this machine and most machines is tied in with the pump on-off switch. So as soon as you turn the pump either into forward pump or reverse pump, the air cuff will release. So what I like to do is I will put my volume to 0 and I'll throw the pump in reverse as such that the air cuff opens, but the pump is not actually sucking concrete back into the hopper, and I can take however much time I need to bang the plug out and then reassemble everything, and then I just set the pump switch back to the neutral position and it closes up the cuff. The other handy thing on these newer Putzmeister radio controls is you can actually turn the air cuff on and off right from the remote rather than on the truck itself. So with that, you actually could just deactivate the cuff right from your remote box, and you could forego the previously mentioned procedure about turning the pump into reverse pump with the volume set at 0. So one of the things with these cuffs, I'll do a little demo here. I'll get you to pump me a little bit. Drop her down a bit. So let this hose fill up. Give me a couple good strokes. And kill it. So the cuff will pinch shut on the hose, but when this concrete is sticky like this, below that pinch point, often concrete will hang up in the hose. So before you're going to swing the hose over anywhere, you got to give it a couple good shakes. Just to get all that concrete that's stuck to the inside of the hose out. Otherwise you'll start swinging over and you'll get those few little handfuls of drippy, usually either on somebody's head or something that probably shouldn't have concrete on it. So anyhow, that is the one really important thing about working with these air cuffs. The guy's always got to shake the hose when he's done. if you're doing a really sticky mix like a bridge deck mix, it gets to the point where you've got to shake that hose so hard to get all that concrete out. It's almost easier just to fold it over, old school, and put the strap on. But for most regular mixes, it works fine, especially just like a regular residential wall mix. It's so flowy. Cuff pinches the hose off, and you hardly even have to shake the thing. Piece of cake. So anyhow, that's just a quick little tutorial on the air cuff. All right, so we're probably going to end the video off here today. We're just going to pour out the rest of the sidewalk. We'll do that wall that we were talking about earlier in the video at the start, and then they actually are going to swing over and connect up to another 3 hoses and do a couple yards on the other side of this building here. So we'll just snap that whip hose off again, reconnect the short double-ended 3, and away we go. That is, I will mention that 6-foot 3-inch double-ended 3-inch hose is super handy for doing line work. It's a very commonly used tool on our pumps that do residential and light commercial work. So anyhow, once again, thanks for watching, and maybe in the future I'll try and do a full, in-depth, detailed video on the operation of the air cuff. But yeah, I just thought I'd touch on that earlier because that is also another very handy tool in the concrete pumping trade. So anyhow, like, share, subscribe. Thanks again. Over and out.